Hello everyone, my name's Angelos and this is another review for JustStarTrek.com. Today I'm joined with Paddy Porter, who...
Good morning or good afternoon or whatever galaxy you're in.
Today we're going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery, the latest episode, plus a mid-season review, even if that may be a little bit earlier. Now, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Discovery, so I would love to hear from Paddy, who is a big fan of Discovery. So we're trying to get a nice balanced feel here for our viewers at home. So first of all, let's kick off, Paddy. What did you think of last week's episode with the whole Spock, Talos 4 planet episode?
Well, I think it was more interesting because it was about Talos 4, which clearly is part of the original series. And of course, Pike had gone to Talos 4 when he was in command of the Enterprise, and then it became a forbidden planet. So it was quite interesting to go back there because we weren't actually there before, apart from sort of some flashbacks in the original series, and to see that. I liked the way they started it off. I liked the cutting in the imagery from the first original sort of series, the pilot, and you know, the sort of when Burnham if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but when Burnham goes down, you see the blue flowers, and you know how she sort of almost changes to be a little bit more smiley. That girl could do with a smile.
Yeah. Do you feel that she has this constant look of angst, almost constipation-like?
Well, you'd think they'd have sorted that out in her timeline, but I suspect that's sort of her Vulcan upbringing.
I suppose. Yeah.
You know, if you're living in an emotionless society, you're going to suppress your emotions.
Can I just chuck in very quickly? I know you're a fan of the whole introduction they did with the failed pilot, just a few clips of Spock smiling, the flowers, etc., etc. Give us some context. I'm going to assume now, and I know you should never assume, but most fans of Discovery are probably younger generation kind of people, and they may not necessarily be aware of the whole failed pilot. Very few people are outside of the main hardcore stream of fans. I felt that they edited it in a really, a fellow fan, John Cunningham, said, in a very campy way. And I felt it didn't quite gel with the tone of the actual episode, which was quite dark, serious, and yet you had this introduction which was very camp-like, and I just thought it didn't quite gel. And then you had the original series theme tune over the top, and it's almost like, guys, we get it, right? We understand you're trying to validate the series of Discovery by lynching onto the original series. We get it, right? But one of my core complaints about Discovery is that it doesn't have the balls or the courage, well, the writers certainly don't seem to have, to stand on their own 2 feet and not constantly reference back to previous Treks. And
I think that's called canon, though, to be fair.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah, okay, it could be, you know, I can't argue with canon.
Yeah.
But I just feel that have the occasional nod, the casual nod to previous Trek series. Don't go full-blown Spock, full-blown Pike, full-blown Enterprise, full-blown Talos 4. Come on, guys, be a bit more original. That's one of the primary complaints I have about Discovery.
Well, if the Talosians had one ability, surely they could have made Talos look like that very lovely picture, as opposed to being filmed in a quarry. Although how those blue flowers are growing in a quarry skips my mind.
And they hum, except when you touch them.
Yeah, well, that's really weird.
So let's talk about the characters a little bit. So Captain Pike, I'm a big fan of his.
Massively a big fan.
Big fan of Pike. And Saru, absolutely love the guy. He is probably the most alien we've had in all of the Star Treks that we've had. And he's so convincing. He may have some interesting lines to say, but he says it with authority. You can tell he loves the series. I love that guy.
Does he follow you in that old Earth Twitter thing that used to be around about 4 centuries ago?
We've exchanged a couple of tweets, him and I, but I can't claim to be a close friend, Paddy, as much as I'd love to.
You know the thing I love about Saru?
Go on.
I'm going to stand up here. It's
Go
when
on.
he walks.
Go on.
Okay.
Do it, Paddy.
I love this sort of...
Wafting a fart away.
Yeah, what? I wasn't quite thinking of that. I'm not sure.
No,
they can actually express
he's a very good
gas in that way.
He's a very good character actor.
Yeah.
Doug Jones, absolutely brilliant. Anson Mount, brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Now, Star Trek for me is all about the family, the captain, and then you have the support characters, like with every other series that we've had. Discovery is different. It focused in on Michael Burnham and her constant, battle against the world and galaxy. And then we have all the support characters who, in season 2, we're kind of getting to know who they are a bit.
Well, I suspect, I don't know how far they'd mapped out Discovery when they started, but because of its proximity to the original series, they had to sort of link the two together. So I guess the obvious things are Pike, although they didn't go with him till season 2, and the Vulcans and Spock. Clearly Spock wasn't available at that particular time, so Burnham possibly is the character they've used to slowly introduce Spock into the equation. So.
I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but quite frankly I don't care. But I think Michael Burnham is a very weak character.
Well, you know what? It's these long eulogies she goes into about what was the previous one to the Talos one, and at the end it's like a 5-minute monologue about
whatever, the clouds. Who cares? It's not. It's meaningless. It's almost like padded filler. And this is what frustrates me. So you have this great actress.
I asked you not to use the word paddy.
Oh, very good. Yeah. So you have this great actress, and she's been given these crappy lines. And this is my primary problem with Discovery. It's not the actors. They're all trying to do the best they can. It's the weak writing. I compare it to a rubbish soap opera. And I hate to use that term because it's about something I really love. And I really love Star Trek. I want Discovery to do well. I want it to do well. But the problem is that they keep writing these characters as if they belong in Hollyoaks, this UK like low-browed TV show. It's not Star Trek. It's almost as if the writers have been told these are the core things you have to include in Star Trek. Now go and do your own thing. But it seems as if the writers don't have any knowledge or experience or can appreciate truly what Star Trek is, and that is a very intellectual science fiction morality play, and that's what it is. But right now, what are we getting?
Well, I think to be fair, the second season is more Star Trek than the first. As, in terms of the second episode was Eden, where they sort of go off and do a Star Trek-y thing.
The episode with Saru and his home planet, absolutely brilliant. That was a very good Star Trek episode.
And then they find the Earthlings who'd been taken by the Red Angel to another planet. Sort of harks back to things that happen in other Star Trek series. And talking about, you said at the start about cutting in the original series, but I guess Deep Space Nine did it brilliantly with The Trouble with Tribbles, where they went on the original Enterprise. Don't think anyone complained then about them using it, and of course they filmed it in that very old style as well.
But that was to celebrate an anniversary.
Yes,
that was a one-off episode. It was intelligently done,
which was very good.
Very intelligently done.
Yeah.
And this is why I have no issues with that. It's a great tribute and nod to the original series. Absolutely brilliant. I feel that they're just trashing the original series. I really do. And I hate to use such strong terms. But the Spock character, this mumbling buffoon who has learning difficulties, which is now a new invention. And him and Burnham, the great...
I think to be fair to Spock, his mind's been jumbled up by the Red Angel, hasn't it? And clearly the Red Angel is very important. Is it Daniels, one wonders, from the temporal Cold War?
Well, or it could be Iron Man, a man in a suit, looks a bit red, who knows? But my point is...
with wings.
With wings, yeah. My point is that they built up this great tension as to why Spock and Burnham were no longer talking to each other. And it's like, oh my God, there must be something really serious. But what was it? Burnham called him a name. I was like, come on, guys, this is weak, man. Give us something a bit more dramatic, a bit more cutting as to why Spock and Burnham are no longer talking.
Well, clearly I hadn't heard that very ancient Earth rhyme, sticks and stones may break my bones, so clearly that hadn't quite gone to Vulcan.
One thing I'm missing about Discovery is a bit of ship-to-ship combat. We have not seen much of it, if any at all, this season.
We've had probe-to-shuttle combat.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah,
that was a bit.
Yeah,
that was a bit
weird.
That was a bit.
The octopi.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
I think it was mind melding with the shuttle.
It probably was trying to. And then we had...
Damn Vulcans.
then we've got Section 31. Now, what do you think of Section 31?
I love Section 31.
Oh,
I
Paddy.
love all the intrigue, and George Yu is trying to get the boss sacked so she can take over. It's real proper spy, stab each other in the back, dog eat dog, space cat eat space cat sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where is Spot, by the way? I mean, this is where we need Spot from the Enterprise, the Next Generation series to come in.
Yeah.
But clearly a bit before his time. It's, yes. But then we had lots of space combat in the first season, and you didn't particularly like that.
No, I didn't, because that was it almost induces epilepsy, the amount of quick editing. You couldn't track what was going on. And yeah, I really would like them to have a bit more of attention there. But with Section 31, I've said it before, I feel they are very pantomime villains. They're not subtle, they're not nuanced. It's like the CIA of Starfleet.
They got some cool gear, though.
Well, it all seems to be black.
Yeah, well,
Black.
of course it is.
I mean, for a top secret organisation, what do? They wear black badges. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we're not that thick.
And they come off the uniform very easy.
Yeah, you can toss them at your captain, which is never a good thing.
Yeah.
Talking of military and things like that.
I think, go back to Section 31, we're going to have the Section 31 spin-off series, aren't we? Allegedly. So, but then we had Deep Space Nine, didn't we? And that spun off, and so who knows?
I don't know. I'm not looking forward to a Section 31 series. I just feel they're trying to give us a taster, like a subtle pilot within the show.
But I'll tell you the interesting thing about Section 31 was at the end where the holographic Section 31 leaders or sort of people in charge came in, and there was a Vulcan, there was an Andorian, there was the pig-faced one. Can't remember what they are.
Mr. Porky, I think his name was.
Mr. Porky.
Yeah, Captain Porky.
And then, I've forgotten what the other one was in the back, but 4 different races, none of which were human, were in charge. So when you think, that's interesting. Didn't see that coming. You'd have thought it was I would have thought, or maybe if I'd thought about it, it was more of an Earth-based organisation. But it's within Starfleet, so everyone would know about it. That's why it's called Section 31.
Well, Captain Porky had a very deep voice, though, didn't he?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd had some lovely
bacon. Okay, so that's that. And one other thing I wanted to mention, Paddy, is that Starfleet's a military organisation, right?
Well, it's an exploratory organisation, isn't it? It's about exploring.
Yeah, but it's based on...
It's got very, very great exploratory ships that can kick a bit of ass.
Yeah, I mean, but it's based on the naval model, right?
Yeah, it uses naval terminology.
Yeah, exactly. Captain, yes sir, commander, etc. But I feel at the moment the Discovery crew, when we learn all of their names on the bridge anyway, and they're...
Especially the one with the glowing eyes.
Oh yeah, Miriam, yeah.
Who's actually appeared quite a lot. She's obviously very important because she's had a bigger part in this. She's now talking on the bridge, which she didn't really do before. Yeah. Some of the bridge officers, they're obviously including those a little bit more, but not greatly.
I feel that at the moment everything's very...
Section 31 plant, by the way, I think.
Yeah, I think everything is very informal. Yeah. There's no yes captain, yes sir. All right, I'm going to be really controversial now, Paddy.
Yeah.
Okay? If I was in charge of Discovery, I'd get rid of everyone except...
Would you be Captain Angelos or Captain Sanders?
Captain Sanders.
Captain Sanders.
Ignoring my own person.
Great chicken.
So I would...
His captain's, cook nights in the galley, real stone.
So I would keep Pike, Captain Pike. Brilliant.
Definitely,
yeah. Saru, and the rest can go.
What do you marry him?
They'd get sucked into a black hole.
Okay.
I would not keep the rest of them.
She's no Clyden, is she?
No. And this is why I go back to the writing, because I haven't had the opportunity to love these characters yet. All Michael Burnham does is go from one jump to another, talking and trying to solve problems by herself. It's not a team effort. The Doctor, okay, fine. He's back again by some super duper magic.
Doesn't look happy.
He's definitely not happy. He's tossing trays of food around, wasteful.
Attacking the person who killed him.
Yeah, a friend of mine earlier, John, today said...
You'd have thought they'd moved beyond that. by then now, wouldn't you?
Well, you would. But
You know.
a friend of mine, John Early, he said, wouldn't it have been funny if Ash Tyler broke his neck again? Now that would have been funny.
That's a space lightning strikes twice.
Yeah, absolutely.
situation.
Ash Tyler, get a haircut, mate. Honestly, I don't know what the writers think. This like half Klingon, half human,
Well, I don't know.
hybrid.
Is the hair a sort of a Klingon thing, really?
maybe. But it's,
Yeah.
why would you play someone who's just so compromised in a position of trust? It just doesn't make sense.
Are you saying that Ash Tyler should fuck off?
Oh, Paddy, that is awesome, man. That was brilliant.
I think from my point of view, if I could just speak for the engineering branch
Yeah.
for a moment, the mad engineer they rescued off the planet,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see more of her.
Okay.
I think she's brilliant. Particularly when they said to her as they're rescuing her, they said about the planet was blowing up and she said, oh, I thought it was something serious.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of her. I mean, I've had the books out and I've looked at mycelial drives and the spores and I just don't get it. I like the old lithium crystals.
Yeah.
I know they've got it. So I'm not quite sure about that.
So, going back to Stamets then,
Yeah.
the chief engineer, yet to see him with a wrench or any other kind of engineering equipment in his hand, except a drill to go into Tilly's head. And this is what I miss about Star Trek,
Because
because
she must have quite enjoyed.
well, she didn't complain too much about it.
No.
But the point about Star Trek, it was always hooked on something tangible and real that we could relate to. And with Scotty, he was always in the Jeffries tube trying to fix this, break. Everything was breaking, and then he'd perform his miracles.
Told me everything I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in this one, it just doesn't seem real. They're in this dark engineering room where you barely see any other characters, and it just doesn't feel like a real ship, especially one which is so cutting edge. And I feel that's a shame. So Stamets, sorry, buddy, you've got to go. Tilly,
Well, he's hung up on his lover, so he's not concentrating, is he?
yeah, okay, fine. Well, all right, we'll give him a bit of a reprieve. Tilly, what are your thoughts on Tilly, Paddy?
Well, I sort of like her. I like when she popped out behind the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. I know you don't like her. I'm not quite sure where her great future in Starfleet comes from. Is she destined for something great? I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I like her. I like her sort of comedy moments, although sometimes she does play it a little bit too sort of giggly girly. Nothing wrong with giggly girls, but it's a little bit sort of
Over the top.
yeah. I would say just
Okay,
I
well,
don't quite get it. I like it, but I don't quite get
let's
it.
put it in context then. As someone who served in the Royal Navy,
Yeah.
would that kind of behaviour on a bridge be accepted?
No, she got her ass kicked.
Well, there you go.
Any
So,
officer would get his ass kicked or her ass kicked,
yeah,
although that's probably not allowed these days.
yeah. Talking of violence, Saru,
Oh, definitely, yeah. He's a good guy.
he can stay, even though he allowed the fight to happen between Ash and Matey Boy.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to the Royal Navy, sometimes you just have to let those things come out. Because if they don't come out, they just carry on.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's, just get it done. And then hopefully they can just forget about it and we'll all move on.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was a good
Yeah.
thing. Just let the tension out.
Yeah.
But then Matey was still angry at the end, so yeah, here we bloody go. He's always angry, this guy, isn't he? Just okay, Joe. To summarise then, Paddy, what do you think's worked this season for you? What's been your favourite part of Discovery?
Well, I think for me, and probably for you, it's going back to a more Star Trek-y thing in that there are episodes, although they're all linked by the Red Angel, and actually we haven't dealt with the Red Angel too much. We have those sort of standalone episodes where we go to a planet and that sort of thing. They're clearly trying to link in Pike and Talos 4. And of course, the Talosians had a bit of an upgrade on the old uniforms and the heads.
I felt that was a downgrade. I wanted to see
Yeah.
pulsing heads. What did we see?
No.
It's almost like rhino kind of fixed heads. I felt that the 1960s version was better than what we've got today. But that's just a minor nitpick. Like you said, Paddy, I like the episodes where they went down to New Eden. I thought that was really well written. I like the episode where we had Saru visiting his home planet. I thought that's an extremely well written episode, and I look forward to returning there and seeing the damage, or not, we'll see, of what happens when the Kelpians rise up against their former enslavers. So those two episodes, brilliant. Everything else, Sorry, it's melodramatic, it's dark, it's trying to be gritty. All of the things that Star Trek isn't. Give us some hope for the future.
Well, Spock's got a beard.
Oh, what a silly.
I did like the Burnham moment. She went, "What's the beard thing? What's that?"
Exactly. Yeah, and I know why they did it. It's a reference to the fans having an uproar over the beard.
Yeah.
For me, I don't care if Spock doesn't shave, whatever. I couldn't give a monkeys. But I just feel sometimes that the delivery of these lines and the fact that they are nodding and almost just giving us a bit of a dry wink, shall we say, the writers to the fans.
But it's clearly working because they've just signed up for season 3.
This was always going to happen. I don't know why people were saying that season 3 was never going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. Not because it's great or the quality's good, but CBS needed to work for financial reasons. You know, all these fans were going on about how it's going to be cancelled. Of course it's not going to be cancelled. Don't be silly. Of course it's going to continue, regardless of the quality.
We only had 3 seasons in the original series, didn't we?
We can't compare like for like there, Paddy. But
maybe in 50 years' time we'll be looking back and going, that Star Trek, I'll be dead by then, but that Star Trek Discovery wasn't that bad.
Well, if the trajectory is downwards, then yes, we will look at this time differently. But I don't feel that Discovery is going to have that second life like DS9 did. DS9 always had that quality to it. It was regarded as the stepchild of Star Trek when it was released in '93, but I feel that the quality was pretty much there from day one. Strong characters, great commander, captain, great female characters, everything was there. It just needed a bit of time. Discovery is really struggling in my view.
I mean, Deep Space Nine was good, and isn't there some hint that might possibly be coming back in some way, or they're doing something with it? I don't know.
They're doing an anniversary film
Yeah.
to commemorate the
Film.
time.
Okay.
And they're upgrading some of the footage, which should be absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to that. I'm a backer, I'm a sponsor, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the guys come up with. But I've got a real passion for DS9. I feel that it didn't get the recognition it deserved during its peak.
But interestingly, that had 2 characters from the Next Generation, Miles O'Brien
And Worf.
and Worf.
But Worf was unemployed, so he had to go somewhere, right? But Miles was a great addition to DS9. He really flourished. He became a great character. He was always there in the old Jeffries tubes with his spanners, sorting things out in the old station. He was a great character. But yeah, my hope for Discovery is that come season 3, we're going to have some new showrunners, hopefully some new writers, and they try and make it a bit more traditional Star Trek. Like we have a strong captain with the other guys underneath, and they're a family. They beam down to a planet, they sort out some great moral crisis, and have the occasional ship battle. And let's try and make Michael Burnham smile. For God's sake, man, for 2 seasons now, she's just had this constant look of angst. Come on, give her a break.
That's space constipation for you. So where do you think this is going to end up?
What, Discovery?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll find out about the Red Angels at the end.
I feel I feel Captain Pike is probably going to go.
Yeah.
Spock is probably going to go.
Who's going to be captain? Saru?
I hope Saru. I'm not sure if he's experienced enough yet, or we may get the 3rd captain. Who knows?
He might have been the first captain.
Yeah, for Christ's sake. You know, Lorca may appear again. It's I can't predict it because it's so
Unpredictable.
vague and and I guess we'll just have to keep watching and seeing what happens. But I guess the one good thing that's come out of Discovery is the fact that we're going to get a future Picard series. That for me is its saving grace.
Yeah, but see, that's the danger, isn't it? You're putting so many of your space eggs in one basket that they may not all hatch. And by all accounts, he's not going to be in Starfleet, and he's going to be
some retired archaeologist, maybe.
I don't know. Indiana Jones.
I really hope and I pray that the studio doesn't muck this up, because Picard, he isn't Star Trek.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart isn't Star Trek, but he does embody Starfleet. You know, Captain Picard does embody Starfleet. And the fact that he's not...
Interesting, you're talking about space battles, but he was more about diplomacy than space battles.
Yeah, but we had the occasional battle, I mean, didn't we? I mean,
Maybe there's going to be some sort of Locutus of Borg sort of thing going on.
What, post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, post-traumatic Borg disorder.
Yeah, could be. I really hope they don't...
PTBS.
I would love it if he could just...
D.
I'd love it if he can get all of the old crew back in together again. Go on one last mission, but apparently it's going to last for 3 seasons. Apparently. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. We'll review it again. please, CBS Studios, do not muck it up. Captain Picard means a lot to people. We don't want him. We don't want to see him as a new, whatever you're doing with Discovery. Keep that kind of writers on Discovery. Let's give us some good quality writing for the Picard.
Please, because my non-Vulcaneer can't stand the bending it's getting.
Right, guys, so you've heard our feelings on Discovery so far. We would love you to comment, give us your views down below. Thank you for listening. I've been Angelos.
I've been Paddy.
And see you again on next episode of JustStarTrek.com.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.